Good evening, this is China Uncut, delivering raw, unfiltered news straight from China. I'm Jennifer Zeng, bringing you today's top stories, from secret military drills targeting Taiwan to the CCP's AI surveillance of millions and escalating social unrest over unpaid wages. We'll uncover the stories others won't. Let's dive into our lead story, a chilling military operation exposed. Our top story tonight reveals a disturbing development in the CCP's military ambitions. The Chinese Communist Party has been conducting secret training exercises simulating an attack on Taiwan's presidential office. These drills, uncovered at a covert location in Fujian province near the Taiwan Strait, involved elite PLA units practicing urban combat and rapid occupation tactics. Sources report the training site replicates key Taiwanese landmarks, including the presidential office in Taipei, down to the smallest details like street layouts and building interiors. Military analysts cited in the report warn that these exercises signal the CCP's increasing focus on preparing for a potential invasion of Taiwan. One expert noted, the level of detail in the simulation shows a clear intent to execute a real operation. The drills reportedly include mock scenarios of neutralizing Taiwanese defenses and securing key government buildings within hours. Taiwanese officials have not yet commented, but this revelation comes amid heightened tensions across the strait, with the CCP ramping up military flyovers and naval activity near Taiwan in recent months. For a nation already on edge, this exposure of the CCP's secret training could escalate fears of an imminent conflict. We'll keep you updated as this story develops. Next, a shocking report on the CCP's surveillance tactics. From military secrets to digital control, the CCP's grip tightens. Our next story exposes how artificial intelligence is being weaponized to monitor millions of Chinese citizens on Telegram. The Chinese Communist Party is intensifying its digital surveillance, targeting 70 million Telegram accounts with AI technology. Telegram, a popular encrypted messaging app, has long been a refuge for Chinese citizens seeking to bypass the Great Firewall and access uncensored information. However, the CCP has now deployed advanced AI systems to automatically detect and monitor users attempting to climb the wall, a term for evading China's internet censorship. Sources reveal that the AI scans messages, identifies patterns of dissent, and flags users for further investigation. This mass surveillance operation, run by the Cyberspace Administration of China, can process millions of messages in real time, effectively turning a once private platform into a CCP surveillance tool. One insider stated, the AI doesn't just monitor, it predicts. It knows who's likely to resist before they even act. This crackdown has sparked outrage among Chinese netizens, many of whom relied on Telegram for free expression. Some users report accounts being blocked or receiving warnings from authorities after discussing sensitive topics like protests or government criticism. The move underscores the CCP's relentless efforts to control information even on platforms outside its jurisdiction. Next, we turn to another layer of digital control, the CCP's expanding internet censorship. The CCP's digital walls are growing taller. Our next story uncovers how local governments in China are building a wall within a wall to further restrict internet access. China's Great Firewall is notorious for blocking global internet access, but new reports reveal an even more oppressive layer of censorship, a wall within a wall. Local CCP authorities are now implementing regional firewalls to further restrict online activity within China. Experts explain that these local firewalls target specific provinces, blocking content deemed subversive by regional officials. For example, in Xinjiang and Tibet, where dissent is heavily suppressed, the new system filters out even more websites and keywords than the national grid firewall. One cybersecurity analyst stated, "This is about control at a granular level. The CCP wants to ensure no corner of China can access unfiltered information." Sometimes citizens in smaller cities suddenly lost access to previously available platforms, including VPNs used to bypass censorship. This move has raised alarms about the CCP's intent to isolate regions digitally, potentially to suppress local unrest before it spreads. Critics argue it's a preemptive strike against growing dissatisfaction, especially as social and economic tensions rise. Speaking of tensions, our next story dives into widespread unrest over unpaid wages. From digital wars to real-world struggles, China faces mounting unrest. Up next, we explore a wave of protests over unpaid wages and illegal fees in rural villages. Across China, a wave of protests is sweeping through rural areas as workers demand unpaid wages. In provinces like Henan and Shandong, migrant workers have taken to the streets, holding banners and blocking roads to protest months, sometimes years, of unpaid salaries. One worker in Henan shared, "We've worked hard, but the bosses disappear. We have nothing to feed our families." The unrest isn't limited to wage disputes. In some villages, local officials are imposing illegal sanitation fees, charging residents for basic services that are never provided. In one village in Henan, residents clashed with authorities after being forced to pay these fees despite living in poverty. A villager stated, "They take our money but leave us with nothing. No clean water, no roads, just empty promises." These protests highlight the growing economic disparity in rural China, where millions struggle to survive while local officials exploit their authority. Analysts warn that such unrest could escalate if the CCP fails to address these grievances, potentially fueling broader dissent against the regime. Next, we uncover a troubling public health crisis. Economic hardship isn't the only crisis brewing. Our next story reveals a hidden COVID-19 surge in China, with hospitals accused of concealing the truth. China is grappling with a new wave of COVID-19 infections, but hospitals are allegedly hiding the truth. In cities like Wuhan and Shanghai, reports of sudden deaths linked to the virus have surfaced, yet official records show no new cases. Witnesses claim hospitals are under orders to mislabel COVID-19 deaths as other causes, such as pneumonia or heart failure. One resident in Wuhan reported, "My neighbor collapsed and died on the street. The hospital said it wasn't COVID, but we know the truth." Doctors are reportedly facing pressure from the CCP to suppress information, fearing public panic or criticism of the government's zero-COVID legacy. Meanwhile, pharmacies are running out of fever medication, and social media posts about the surge are being censored. This cover-up raises serious questions about the CCP's transparency and its ability to manage public health crises, especially as citizens grow increasingly distrustful of official narratives. Next, we turn to the CCP's economic sleight of hand. From health to economics, the CCP's tactics remain opaque. Our next story questions whether a new economic law is just a distraction from deeper issues. The CCP is promoting a new private economy promotion law, but critics call it a smokescreen. The law claims to support private businesses by offering tax breaks and easier access to loans, but experts argue it's a facade to distract from the CCP's tightening grip on the economy. One economist stated, the CCP wants to appear business-friendly, but in reality, they're forcing private firms to align with state goals. Reports indicate that private companies face increasing pressure to share profits with state-owned enterprises or cede control to CCP officials. Small business owners already struggling with economic slowdown say the law offers no real relief. This move comes as China's economy faces declining exports and rising unemployment, issues the CCP seems keen to downplay. Critics warn that without genuine reform, the private sector, once a driver of growth, will continue to shrink under state control. Next, a maritime mystery in the Pacific. From economic control to maritime intrigue, our next story uncovers suspicious CCP activity near critical Pacific infrastructure. What are Chinese ships doing around undersea cables? A new report raises alarms about Chinese ships lingering near undersea cables in the Pacific Ocean. These cables, vital for global internet and communication networks, connect Asia to the Americas. The report notes that CCP-affiliated vessels have been spotted hovering around these sensitive areas for weeks, raising fears of potential sabotage or espionage. Experts cited in the report warn that tampering with undersea cables could disrupt global communications or allow the CCP to intercept data. One analyst said this isn't random. The CCP knows the strategic value of these cables. While no evidence of interference has been confirmed, the activity has prompted concern among Pacific nations, with calls for increased monitoring of China's maritime movements. Finally, a bizarre rumor about Xi Jinping. From maritime tensions to political speculation, our final story explores a strange rumor. Did a youthful Xi Jinping visit Henan, or was it a body double? A peculiar rumor is circulating after Xi Jinping's recent visit to Henan. Observers noted that Xi appeared unusually youthful, with smoother skin and a more energetic demeanor than his 71 years suggest. This has fueled speculation that the CCP leader may have sent a body double in his place. Online commentators have proposed 4 possible outcomes for Xi's future: retirement, stepping down due to health, a power struggle within the CCP, or maintaining control through 2030. While the body double theory remains unconfirmed, it reflects growing public curiosity and skepticism about the CCP's inner workings. Some Henan residents remarked, he didn't look like the Xi we've seen on TV. Something feels off. This odd story caps a day of unsettling revelations about the CCP's actions, both at home and abroad. That's all for tonight on China Uncut. From secret invasion drills targeting Taiwan to AI surveillance of millions and protests over unpaid wages, we've uncovered the stories the CCP doesn't want you to hear. Tomorrow, we'll dig deeper into China's hidden crisis. Don't miss it. If you value unfiltered news, subscribe now and follow us on X, Ganjing World, and YouTube for real-time updates. This is Jennifer Zeng reminding you the truth matters. See you tomorrow.